What do Intercom, Apple, and Stripe have in common? They are all design references that our clients at Eleken frequently ask us to mimic. While we appreciate good design, copying even the best can be a trap. Hi, I'm Ila, the founder of Eleken, a product design agency for SaaS. In this video, we'll discuss why imitation is the sincerest form of failure and how to learn from the Stripe's design in a healthy way. Why do we all like Stripe's design so much? Stripe has built a cult around a piece of code. It has turned its users into fans. It has made gradients that look so good you want to lick them. Stripe is a rock star in the world of SaaS, so you'd hardly find a startup owner who's never thought, I want my startup to look like Stripe when it grows up. Had this thought ever crossed your mind? Pretty understandable. You just look at Stripe's website next to its competitor, Braintree. Sorry Braintree, no offense. Both websites offer a suite of payment APIs for online companies of all sizes. Is it anything more boring to sell than fintech rails for online commerce? Yet Stripe's site manages to push its boring rails in a very clear, very professional, and somehow even inspiring way. As designers, we confirm that Stripe's website is an example of a good design. One Stripe website's distinctive feature is its clever navigation. Even though the company offers dozens of products, you can always find what you need. All options are conveniently grouped in a drop-down list and differentiated thanks to their unique icons and color schemes. Stripe's copy is sharp and straightforward, illustrated by talent animations. Animations tell so much that you don't even need to read the copy to understand how the product works. Last but not least, Stripe presents a unique case when a website is restrained with no irritation frills, yet it feels fresh and playful. As you can tell, we at Eleken don't mind when startups choose Stripe design as reference. Problems start when inspiration turns into imitation, and clients say something like, make startup's website look like Stripe's. Making your website look like Stripe's would work if uiux design was about making things pretty, but it's a bit more difficult than that. Design is a relationship between form and content, so as soon as you separate the form, Stripe's design, from its content, Stripe itself, to put this form on top of your product, Stripe's magic turns into a pumpkin. Think of content as a candy and design as its wrapper. The wrapper makes eating candies a better experience. It prevents the sugar from melting in your hands. It also draws customers' attention. But if we rip out the cover of the best-selling chocolates and pull it in our lollipop, we won't get a best-selling lollipop, because it's not the wrapping that makes candies popular, but a mix of the product and the wrapping. Not to mention, the packaging simply won't fit. To learn from Stripe's success, it's not enough to imitate its website design. We need to figure out what's behind colorful gradients and dynamic diagonals. What really makes Stripe's design so attractive? That's a good question to ask yourself right after you've chosen Stripe as your role model. We believe Stripe's success is based on three pillars: a valuable product, a human-centered approach to design, and a hard-working approach to the business. Let's break them down one by one. Stripe make a product that relieved users' pain better than any competitor. Payment processing is complex as hell. Before Stripe, businesses needed to sort things out on their own, building compliant payment system for their sites. That was risky, expensive, and unreliable process. For small businesses, it was often impossible. Stripe recognized the window of opportunity and enabled people to process payments by copying and pasting 7 lines of code. What a delight it was for developers! Stripe made users' lives better and earned their love. Stripe is obsessed with their customers. Customer obsession is like good posture. Everyone knows it's important, but only a few stick with it. Stripe belongs to the minority that builds the business around their customers. When the company just launched, its CEO, Patrick Collison, went to customers' houses to see how they installed Stripe. And 10 years later, he's still interested in listening to people's preferences. Stripe uses gathered insights to constantly improve user experience. For example, many API products suffer from poor and confusing documentation. Stripe's documentation, by contrast, is so clear and well written that it's easy for the developers to get things up and running. What's more, if developers are digging through documents while being logged into the Stripe account, they can see personalized code snippets. Such a user-centered approach earns more love for Stripe. Stripe, they always run the extra mile. If you ask somebody from Stripe's design team about how they make amazing products and sites, they would reply they simply spend 20x more time on this than anyone else would, and refuse to cut corners along the way. Here is a telling example of this from one of the Stripe's designers. Once he was working on a website animation that showed a payment from being filled and submitted. To fake the typing, he made a new character appear every 100 milliseconds and call it a day. But the CEO didn't like the result because typing felt too automatic. He not only suggested making the delay before each new character random, but also wrote the needed code by himself. Such obsession with the smallest detail makes an impression. It inspires all the team to push until the result is not just good or great, but exceptional. For little details that show the Stripes really cares, users love the company even more. Okay, now that we know what makes Stripe so special, except for gradients, icons, and diagonals, how can we learn from Stripe in a healthy way? Take a look at this picture. The wise logic formulates the moral of our story beautifully, even though it ignores its own advice. On the road to success, there are no shortcuts. People visit Stripe site not to just enjoy the gradients, but to get their job done. Thus, not an appearance makes a good site, but its ability to give people what they came for in a comfortable and cozy way. You can imitate gradients, but the comfortable and cozy assistance is inimitable. To replicate it, you need to figure out who your users are, what their goals are, and how they interact with your product. The deeper you understand it all, the better. Learning your customers is a great deal of work. If you are ready to get started, check out my video on the UX research process. And by the way, did you know that 10 years ago, Stripe CEO wanted a little startup to be like Amazon? He researched things like what Amazon was doing in 1999 and how they thought about their software and services. That's a nice little twist of a fate, isn't it? So if in 10 years you'll be a new SaaS star, recall this video and send some kudos to Eleken Design Agency. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was useful. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. See you soon.